You're welcome to O'Moore Park here, the 18th of October. Final a beautiful evening. There's been famous weather the whole harvest, and it continues again today. Great sunshine. And of course we'll name out the Camross team. James Delaney is in goals, Billy Phelan cornerback, Tommy Delaney an ex-senior at fullback, Des Kilmartin at cornerback, Martin Gohan, Stephen Mortimer and Terry Dorn, half-back line. Centre field is Finn Palmer, another ex-senior hurler, Brendan Sullivan. The half-forward line is PJ Dooley with Noel Cuddy in the centre and Michael Dooley in the half-forward line. Garrett Cuddy, PJ Cuddy and Joe Dollard. Of course, Joe Dollard definitely an ex-Leash man, ex-senior man as well, with PJ Cuddy, two very strong men. And in the subs then there's Kevin Gleeson, Owen Dorn, Shane Keenan. We won't go down through all the subs, and now we'll turn our attention to the Ballypickas team. The Ballypickas team, of course, is Ray Dalton in the goals, Cathal Gorman cornerback, John O'Dea fullback, Anthony Carter the other side. The half-back line is Brian Lawler, Brendan Keogh and Michael McAvoy. At centre field is Joe Miller, Dara Phelan. The half-forward line is made up of Noel Delaney, Joe McAvoy and Cathal Fleming. And in the full line is Patrick O'Brien, Michael Fitz full forward and Paul Brennan in the other corner. And but Camross looks the biggest team today by far, stronger looking team, of course, with a few ex-seniors men on Ballypickas, maybe the underdogs today. But Ballypickas missing Jim G today out through injury, bit of a loss through him, all right. There's two men won't be nervous out here today, and that's Michael John Tierney and Cathal Fleming anyway. Two men after playing in Croke Park in front of 80,000 people. Surely won't be kind of nervous here today. Cathal Fleming, of course, playing a half forward. Played in the Leinster final against Dublin, lost out in the final to other players, wasn't on the team. Michael John Tierney played a big part in both the drawn game and the final. The referee today, of course, is Jimmy Fitzpatrick. Ballypickas, the last time they won the final was 2001 against... I don't know who that was against I forget who that was. Mount Malik. Oh yeah, lost out in 2001 against Mount Malik. Lost out again in 99 against Shanahoe. The cup that they're playing for today is the Father Phelan Cup. First won by Christy Wallace, an uncle of the present Christy Wallace. The last time Ballypickas won the final, of course, was 1994. They beat Kyle in the final and they beat Colt in the league final that same year, had a double. And of course the famous final in 93, they beat Portlaoise. Tom Heine-Kinsler stormed it that day. And of course the trainer for Ballypickas is Lars Scully, a Colt man.
Cameras down in front of us, having their first taken. Appearing in the first junior final since beaten by the Harps back in 1995, the year which they won the league final, defeating Kyle. Oh, good or bad omen, they have already beaten Kyle in this year's league final. They went on to lose the championship. They'll be hoping that history won't be repeated. But their last championship title in the grade was when they defeated Montrat, completing a junior double on the same day, and they had beaten Borsnottery in the B final and then went on to beat Montrat in a thrilling junior A final. Trained and I suppose playing at the time was Eugene LeCumber, but captained by Lee Mash from Darren Nasira. The last time the Father Phelan Cup went to the parish, and I think the first time they actually won the title was back in 1972, captained by Joe Dooley from Marymount, and his son PJ Dooley lines out in the number 10 shirt today. They also won it back in 1981 when they defeated Timahoe. Another Timahoe was beaten. They also defeated finalists in 1972 when Joe Dooley was captain, and John Sheeran was their captain in 1981. Playing on that day was Tommy Delaney, right half back, and today he lines out in the number 3 shirt for Camross. The referee for today's game is Jimmy Fitzpatrick from the Kilcotton Club. Camross first winners of a junior title way back in 1928. Ballypickas' first title came 3 years later in 1931, and they went on to have a second one in 1936.
The game is on. It started about 2 minutes. Joe Mack strikes in the ball in as far as Patrick O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien looking for it. Cathal Fleming, the fit man, moving on in. Patrick O'Brien shoots for the goals. It's going out and wide. Hard luck to Cathal Fleming there. It's hard to know what way the wind is blowing. I'll know in a minute when I see which way the ball is carrying. Okay, James Delaney pucking out the ball, a big puck out, landing way out in the centre of the field. Dara Phelan, the big man, go up to catch it, blocks the ball down in front of him. Swing on it, number 7 for Camross, driving the ball way down the field, Terry Dorn. Michael McAvoy getting the ball. doesn't pick it up on first attempt. Camross man, number 12 has it for Camross. Joe Miller out to Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh trying to move it, doesn't get it. Hand passed it back out to Michael Dooley. In as far as Joe Dollar. Joe Dollar trying to get the ball up, a free in for Joe Dollar to push in the back. Tony Carter marking him. Tony, of course, come onto the team in 1980. So free for Camross, being taken by Joe Dollar, the ex-Laois man and ex-Camross senior player. Looks in straight, then she's over the black spot. And point, the first point for Camross. Camross have opened the score here. So Rocky Dalton going to puck out this ball. The sun in his eyes. He pucks the ball way out to the centre of the field, landing on the half forward line. Dara Phelan under this ball again. Swings in the air, misses the ball. Cathal Fleming missed it. Cleared out by Martin Gahan. Number 10, Noel Delaney driving the ball way into Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan stretching for the ball, has it in his hand, coming trying to get his way around. Sells a dummy, driving the ball, lands into square, dangerous ball in here, dropping into Patrick O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien running to the corner, the ball getting away and him out towards the line, very near the line. The shoulder, it's going to be a 70. Just Patrick O'Brien jostling over the line. Carl Fleming going in for the ball to puck it out. So Ballypickas' first chance of getting a score here. The ball being driven out the field. Patrick O'Brien coming out to take it. He's here under the shade of the stand. Sun very low today. He's right out the sideline. Only two metres in from the line. Bends down, taking a few deep breaths. James Delaney organising his backs in the goals. Patrick O'Brien tries it in, short one, not going far enough, dropping in the square. The ball gets out harmlessly wide. Another puck out from James Delaney. All racing back out to the centre of the field. He's getting ready for the puck out. James pucks out the ball, lands way out, going to drop into half forward line, going to drop near Noel Cuddy. Noel Cuddy swings one hand in the air, the ball is blocked down to Joe McAvoy. Joe McAvoy tips the ball on the ground. Noel Delaney keeping the ball moving. Colin Fleming, Dara Phelan ready to move the ball. Moved by PJ Dooley. Stalemate here. Super clearance by Michael McAvoy down to Patrick O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien fouled. A bit of a push in the back and Patrick O'Brien, but there's Kilmartin. So Ballypickas a second chance here now. Didn't hit the first one well. This one is in much nearer altogether, out about 40 metres. So Patrick O'Brien will be taking this one again. James Delaney organising his backs here again, getting to mark up Joe Mack. Patrick O'Brien lifts, strikes. Not a great one either, out for wide again. Hard look, the goalie got a bit of a tip there when that ball was dropping in there. Paul Mack is checking his head. See, Paul Brennan was right in that ball, it got out wide on him though. Two chances gone missing for Ballypickas. Ballypickas the slight underdogs today. So Tommy Delaney is going to try this one. Tommy Delaney pucking out this. Jimmy Fitz marching out to the centre of the field now. Getting ready for the puck out. Tries it away one, a bigger one. Going to drop out to Dara Phelan again. Dara has a hand up. Dara's a great man to catch a ball. He's down as a free. Dara Phelan, a big man at centre field. His father Mick Phelan played in the goals for Colt. Great catch from him. So Brian Lawler is going to take this ball. Camross man standing very near him. Referee Jimmy Fitz asking him to move back a bit. So Brian Lawler going to take this ball. Brian looking down with his ball. Let's fly. Tries it away one, a good one. Dropping in the square. Michael Fitz looking at it. The goalie catches it. The goalie's coming out. He's dropped and it's a free out. Michael Fitz has fouled the goalie. Fouled James Delaney, so it's a free out. Tommy Delaney going to take this ball again. Has it in the square. Last file in Camross appeared in was 1995. Last 1-1 was 95, sorry. Drives the ball, Tommy drives the ball way out the field again. Out towards Monman standing on his own. Terry Doran drives it right into the corner. In towards Garrett Cuddy. Garrett Cuddy, of course, a nephew of PJ Cuddy's, a brother of the singer Sean Cuddy, playing in the corner. Tony Carter going to get the ball out. Jimmy Fitz wants the boys to move back from the ball. Tony Carter out in the sunshine, getting ready. Tony strikes a fairly good and out to the centre of the field with a man standing on his own. Tries it back in again, looks up at the goals, and the way Rocky's looking up, it's over the bar. 2 points for Camross. 5 or 7 minutes gone. 2 points for Camross. Rocky Dalton getting ready. Rocky Dalton was a bit injured during the week. Martin Murphy, of course, the sub goalie, could be calling later on today. So Rocky's getting ready. Jimmy Fitz is moving lads back off the line over here on the far side of the field. Ned Day over there, Ned pointing at the hurls. Ned is minding the hurls. Watching the far side of the field. Jimmy blows the whistle, ready for the puck out. Rocky Dalton going to blast out this ball. Rocky comes out, pucks it way out the field, landing on the Ballypickas half forward line again. Great ball. Patrick O'Brien swinging in the air, back out to Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler out to Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan trying to get around his men. Has the ball, kicks the ball in. Of course, Dara playing football at Bellarone. Used to kicking the ball. Number 8 for Camross, driving the ball way out the field. Joe Miller trying to hold up the ball. Brendan Keogh on top of the ball. Brendan Keogh on the ground, drives the ball over across the field, nearly getting out of Noel Lane. Brendan Keogh again with the ball, but comes in as far as Noel Cuddy. Noel Cuddy pushing forward. Out comes Garrett Cuddy for the ball again. Garrett Cuddy moving the ball in, but Jack O'Day, one of the older men in the team, puts it up, but Joe Dollar gets in the pass into PJ Cuddy. PJ Cuddy in the square. PJ takes a miss on it. Rocky Don getting the ball out way out the field to let off for Ballypickas. The lucky is it a lot off yet. Jack O'Day coming out. PJ Cuddy still with it. Rocky Don drops it out over the line in a sideline ball. Dangerous ball landed in around the square. Joe Dollar tipped in a lovely ball into PJ Cuddy. A little bit far from when Rocky got it out the side. So let off for Ballypickas. This ball going to be taken by Dooley. Dooley drives the ball into the square again. Joe Miller goes for it. Tried the ball into the square. The ball is in the square again. PJ Cuddy coming out for it. Was he fouled? John Day keeps the ball out, and John Day puts it out for a 70. Get up, so 70 for Camross. Ball being pucked out to the centre of the field now for the 70 to be taken. Tommy Delaney coming out to take it. Out from full back to take this ball. 5 or 7 metres in from the sideline. Scoreable chance, of course. Sun, desperate strong sun in Rocky Dalton's eyes. The guys with their hands up trying to keep the sun out of their eyes. The big sun. Tommy Delaney rising the ball, driving it. It's going way out and out wide. The ball gets out wide. Let off for Ballypickas, lucky there. Rocky Dalton going to drive this ball out again. Rocky drives it out the far side of the field this time, veering the puck out right out to Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney trying to get the ball over his head. Does so. The ref Jimmy Fitz says he fouled in doing so. Paul Brennan was out like a rocket for that. So Tommy Delaney, another shot for Tommy Delaney. But 40 metres from his own goals. This will land in around the square, and of course very dangerous around the square today with the sunshine. Hard for a goalie to see the ball. Tommy driving the ball, landing it right in, dropping into the square. PJ Cuddy in there, Joe Dollar going for it. Cathal Gorman getting it out. Darragh Phelan coming running for the ball. Darragh hits the ball nicely, but it's been fed around by Cuddy. Drops the ball into the corner. Great, Dooley has it. Cathal Gorman coming out fast on him. Oh, drops the pulls on him and he sold him a dummy, and then Cathal Gorman going to get his name taken here, I'd say. Bit of an accident now, not too severe, but just hit him in the hand and he going by. So the first man into the book was Cathal Gorman. Jimmy Fitz still writing his name. Didn't see a yellow card yet. Maybe he has got it. A few Camross mentors in looking at him, sees he okay. Camross with a massive lot of players out here today. The subs come out in the team. Subs come out on the field. Looked like they had a second team. A lot of players out. He's okay. Alright, so sub Joe Dollar, the course, going to take this. Looking for a high piece of grass to put it up on Joe Dollard. As it looks up at the goals, an easy one enough, out about 35 metres. Strikes the ball straight over the black spot. So 3 points to Camross, no score for Ballypickas. Hopefully this Camross won't get away too far on Ballypickas. So Rocky Dalton getting ready again for the puck out. Joe Mack running around looking for the ball. Rocky drives it way out this side of the field. Very nearly again over towards Cathal Fleming, the county minor. Cathal Fleming driving into the corner. The ball being thrown out. Tommy Delaney dropping the ball out. Cathal Fleming there with him, but a line ball in for Ballypickas. Michael fits in around the square looking for the ball. Joe Miller going to take this sideline ball. Joe Miller, great man on the sideline ball, swings it, Drops in that bad one this time, straight to a Camross man. Straight out to Terry Dorn. Terry Dorn dropping the ball. Straight down to the centre forward. Two Ballypickas men going for Brendan Keogh, trying to keep the ball away from Cuddy. Cuddy driving the ball across the square. In towards number 9. Brendan Sullivan with the ball. Brendan getting in there to go. Taps it in towards and chops it wide. And let off for Ballypickas again. They're lucky enough there. So Rocky Dalton going to try this one out again. So Rocky on Dara Phelan looking for the ball this side of the field, stretching up. So Rocky over the far side of the field under Joe Miller. Joe Miller tipping the ball on, lovely tip on towards Cathal Fleming. Cathal Fleming trying to move the ball in, misses the ball. Out comes two Camross men. Joe Miller has it again. Joe on the ground. Noel Delaney keeping it out to Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan's ball in his hand. Dara drives the ball in. What way is it going? No, it's going out to the wide. Hard luck to Dara Phelan. Good effort. Couple of metres wide. Ballypickas settling in better now. So James Delaney going to try this one again. James and Neville Tommies driving the ball out, small square, drives it out about 70 metres, dropping under Dara Phelan, up for the ball again. Dara has the hand up, great man, big hand, shoves the Camross man away from, drives the ball out. Camross man Dooley blocks it. Dooley keeps the ball. Dara Phelan swinging. Dooley keeps moving it in as far as Joe Dollar. Joe Dollar tipping the ball on. Joe Miller comes to the rescue and drives it back out the centre of the field out towards Cuddy. Cathal Gorman trying to move the ball. Cathal Gorman gets a free. Good work from Cathal Gorman there. Kept the ball moving. Brian Lawler going to take this ball. Brian Lawler, good man, and a free. Should drop it in around the square. Ballypickas needs a score badly at this stage. So Brian Lawler will be taking this and be dropping it into the square and towards Michael Fitz. Brian Lawler lifting the ball, strikes way in towards Cathal Fleming again. Cathal Fleming stretching for it, beautiful, throwing it out in the hurl, going out towards trying to get a shot back in, drops it back in towards Patrick O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien sells a dummy and drops it back in, but drops it only as far as Tommy Delaney. Tommy Delaney driving it way out to the centre of the field again, right under Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler and Dooley swinging in the air. Brian Lawler wins this one. Joe Miller tips it on beautiful, out as far as Joe Mack. Joe Mack and going in. Joe Mack pushed off of the ball. Joe Miller into helping. Cathal Fleming trying to move the ball forward. Noel Delaney gets it right into shot. Michael Fitz had it in his hand, gets away on him. Michael Fitz trying to keep the ball moving, and the ball is hard luck. It was only an accident. The ball was there and all, there was no problem. He hit him in the hand, but it was definitely an accident. Bit of shoving and pushing going on. Now Michael Fitz is second man's name to go into the book. Hit Des Kilmartin on the hand. Michael Fitz getting the yellow card, free for Camross. Tommy Delaney out to take it again. Out 30 metres from his own goal. Just landing around the square again. So Tommy lifting the ball, strikes it. Not a good one. Just straight up with a loose man for Camross, standing on his own. Tries the ball way into the square. Is going to go over the bar. No, they're shoving and going on the square. Stopping the square. Then just ball. PJ Cuddy. They're all in there. The ball. Rocky Dalton has it. How he done it, I don't know. He's getting shoved around. A good few steps. Puts the ball up to hit it. Over carries the ball. Too many steps. So free in for Camross. Joe Dollar stretching for it, thinking if maybe he go for a goal. The camera or the Ballypickas backs cop on and move out on top of him. So an easy one for Joe Dollar. That's about 21 metres. So Joe Dollar lifts this and puts it. Oh, he's going. He puts it over the bar. I thought for a minute he was going to go for a goal. So now Camross 4 points. Ballypickas no score. Great catch from Rocky Dalton. Was in hard luck to have to overcarry the ball there. So Rocky going to drive the ball out again. Rocky drives the ball out. A super ball. Dropping on Dara Phelan under the ball. A bit of pushing. Cathal Fleming swinging in the air. Paul Brennan now. Paul Brennan moving the ball. Beautiful. Tommy Delaney. Mick Fitz going. Mick Fitz just gives him a shove. The ball is being moved out. Tommy Delaney gets it as far as Dooley. Joe Miller racing for the ball along with Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler first man to it. Lifts. Strikes it. Blocked down by Dooley. Dooley keeping the ball moving along the line. Drops it over towards Joe Dollar. Brendan Keogh going for Brendan Keogh and Joe Miller. Joe Miller snaps up the ball and throws the ball up. Joe Miller gets it out in as far as Cuddy. Cuddy shoving his way forward. So on the ball. Looking up. Drops it in as far as PJ. A little bit forward. Going as far as Rocky Dalton and out for a wide. Luckily enough for Ballypickas there. A super block by Dooley there. Ballypickas being shouted into it now at the moment. We wake up a nice crowd here in the Moore Park. Super. Ball being dropped out the centre of the field again. Joe Mack going for Dara Phelan, getting the hand up a Superman to catch a ball. As I said already, getting a foul. So this is surely a scoreable chance. Only about 40 metres out. Ballypickas should put a first score on the board this time. Patrick O'Brien coming out to take it. 40-50 metres out, no bother. Dry day, dry ball. Martin Murphy getting warmed up, going around the back of the goals, going over the far side of the field. So Patrick O'Brien going to take this one. Should be Ballypickas' first score. Lifts, strikes, and it's wide ball. Hard luck was only inches wide, but still it's wide. This is not going to count. Out for a few wide. Hard luck. Patrick O'Brien throwing off the helmet here. Not happy with that one, of course. Tommy Delaney going to go in and pluck the ball out again. Helmets being discarded everywhere. Very warm day. The ball being not a great one. Out as far as Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan swinging with one hand, dropped the ball in beautiful. In as far as Cathal Fleming. Cathal Fleming moving the ball with Paul Brennan racing for the ball. Paul Brennan, Tommy Delaney coming out, tips the ball. Paul Brennan trying to move it. Tommy Delaney gets it up in his hand. Tommy drives it way out the field. Out as far as Joe Mack. Joe Mack swinging in the air. Michael Mack keeping it there. Two brothers. Beautiful snap one. Out as far as Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan trying to push forward. A free for Dara Phelan. Who's going to take this? Joe Mack going to take it. Out about 80 metres out. Joe Ben strikes. Oh, very poor one. It's going to be lucky enough, going to fall as far as Nolan Delaney. Nolan Delaney has it in his hand, going a bit of a solo and looking up at the goal. Slips a man, drifts back, and is it over the bar? Wide, hard look again, only inches wide again. Was it wide? No score yet for Ballypickas. They need to score badly. Hard look from Nolan Delaney. Nolan Delaney, of course, plays his football with Ballyrone. He's in hard luck that time. I see Mark Murphy at the back of the goals here again after going over to get a hurl. Are they thinking about bringing them in? Murphy played, of course, in the semi-final earlier on this year. Camross man come for the ball all alone. No one up. Noel Delaney trying to get the ball up. Out comes Cathal Gorman. Good work, Cathal Gorman. PJ Cuddy out for the ball. PJ hops it to be high in the hurl. John O'D trying to get in as far as Joe Dollar. Joe Dollar in the 14 yards line. Joe Dollar looking and slaps it over the bar. 5 points for Camross. Oh, the umpire is saying it's a wide ball. It looked a point from here, but the umpire is saying it's a wide ball. Jimmy Fitz going to run in. The umpire definitely couldn't see the sun in his eyes. It's very, very hard to see this ball. So the umpire doesn't know. He's pointing over to the other umpire. The other umpire not saying anything. Jimmy Fitz going in to talk to him. Jimmy Fitz in talking to the umpire to see what went on this time. Couldn't see the sun. What's happening? We don't think he's giving it. Camross 4 points. Jimmy Fitz racing out the centre of the field. Rocky Dalton going to drive out the ball. Rocky Dalton striking out the ball. A good one out about 80 metres. Joe Miller under the ball. Joe Mack a bit of a hunch here. A bit of swinging in the air. Missed by a few. Noel Delaney trying to get back. Noel drove in. PJ Cuddy first man to break. PJ tries to read the ball. Jack O'Day reads it beautiful and drives the ball way down to Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan going to hand. Had it in his hand. Michael Fitz coming out for Tommy Delaney getting a bit of push in the back and driving him off the ball. Out as far as Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan just drops the ball, misses to the puck, drives it back, has it trying to get the ball, has it in his hand. He's doing great work. He's on a bit of a solo on Dara Phelan. He's keeping the ball out in front of him. He's fouled again. Dara Phelan trying shotgun hard here. Another free for Ballypickas. Patrick O'Brien coming out to take this free again. There's going to be change. Going to chance Cathal Fleming, the county minor, to take this free. Cathal putting it up on a high piece of grass. Cathal Fleming, son of Jims of the Swan, looking at this ball. One of the younger players drives the ball, didn't get a great one. He drives it into the square, and as far as Michael Fitz, the ball is broke back out to the Camross and way down the field again, out as far as Dooley, going very near the line. He keeps it in play, drives the ball first time up as far as Cuddy. Cuddy drives it on again, gets a bit of a reflection. Joe Dollard moves it over across the field, and Jimmy Fitz is going to give a free out for swiping. Bit of a late. Joe Dollard breaks the hurl as well, looking for a hurl. Rocky Dalton going to come out to take this ball. About 22 minutes gone in this game. Ballypickas hoping something will happen shortly for him. Rocky Dalton dropped this one in the square. Outford looking up, steadying himself over the ball. Rocky Dalton lifts, strikes in as far as Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney tips the ball beautifully into the square. Michael Fitz has it in the square. Joe Miller has a shot at it, doesn't get it. Patrick O'Brien stretches up for plays the ball, drops it in, and it's wide again. Hard looking Noel Delaney. On Patrick O'Brien that was finished off that ball. Shocking hard look. Few very narrow wides. Jimmy Delaney going to puck this out again. Out about 70 metres, coming here to Brian Lawler. Dara Phelan getting himself under a bit of hurl. Doesn't get it. Cathal Gorman. Brendan Keogh has the ball, snaps it up, drops it up beautiful to Joe Mack. Joe Mack drops it in beautifully in as far as Paul Brennan, but Paul Brennan was going inside. Something got out with Des Kilmartin. Joe Dollard has it again. Joe Dollard trying to slip inside. Michael McAvoy has him on the ground. Brendan Keogh, he releases the ball out, and Brian Lawler's first man and drives the ball blocked down again, so it'll be a line ball for Ballypickas. Cathal Gorman out to take this one. Cathal Gorman not happy where he has the ball placed, going back to place it again. Swings a beautiful one up as far as Cathal Fleming. Cathal Fleming trying to move the ball in as far as two of them going for it. Cathal Gorman out in front. Who has it? Joe Dollard has it in front of him. He's after passing John Day. Has a shot straight at the goals and he buries it in the back of the net. Hang on, give Rocky Dawson no chance there. So Joe Dollard has scored that again. A goal. So now 1-4 for Camross. No score for Ballypickas. Things not working out well for Ballypickas here today. For this Father Phelan Cup, Jimmy Fitzpatrick is holding up play. Joe Dollard got a bit of belt in the hand going in that time. Larry Scully won't be happy with this Ballypickas performance in the first half anyway. Tom Cahill taking in water into Paul Brennan down to one end here. Time for everyone to get a rest. Joe Dollard is okay. A lot of water being carried in the field today. Jimmy Fitz out to the centre field, blowing for the puck out again. Rocky Dalton pucks her way out the field again. Varying it over this side of the field. Dara Phelan under the ball again. Dara trying to get a hand up, has it. Gets it up, drops the ball, but still gets it, turns him nicely, swings, doesn't get it, but drops over the line, and it's going to be a Camross ball. I'd say he's in hard luck there. No, Dooley got him, fell on the ground just as Dara Phelan was trying to swing for that ball. I'd say he twisted his knee or something now. He's in a bit of pain. Mentors are in with him. Back here again. Jimmy Fitz blowing, not happy. He wants to get lads off the sideline. Martin Gaughan going to take this. Sideline ball. Jimmy Fitz back in the field. Ballypickas in hard luck. 6 poor wides. They're putting on plenty of pressure and getting the ball in there. Just the scores are not coming for him. Hopefully it'll happen fairly shortly for him. Pucked out centre of the field. Out comes Cuddyford again. No, it's not. It's centre field man. Brendan Sullivan with the ball, drives it on in as far as Dooley. Dooley swings first time, drives it in as far as PJ Cuddy. Michael McAvoy up for, drops as far as PJ Cuddy, grabs it, making a bit of space. There's a lot of Ballypickas men turning around, and Jimmy Fitz is going to give a free. Maybe a bit harsh, but however, PJ making a bit of space and didn't hold on to the ball, released it, and Ballypickas lads are on him. So Jimmy giving a free, another chance for Camross. Camross taking their chances. Jimmy Fitz moving the ball up. Joe Dollard having a look. So you're going to take a quick one. Standing over the very handy one, only out a small bit, about 21 metres. So Joe strikes, drops it way over the bar, and the ball has gone over the wall. But it's certainly another point for Joe Dollard. 1-5 for Camross, no score for Ballypickas. Michael McAvoy getting out the far side of the field. Rocky Dawson driving the ball way down to Noel Delaney. Joe Mack getting over in her. Joe Mack drops the ball beautiful down to Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney going a bit of a solo run, swings all around trying to make a bit of space for himself, and passes the ball back out to Michael Mack. Didn't go far enough, so Camross man has it again. Number 12 for Camross getting the ball, drives it up in the air. Dara Phelan up for it again. Dara swinging. Finn Palmer driving it way down. Sod Carter with the ball, hand passing it out beautiful to Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh moving the ball straight into the square, a bit of pressure on Paul Brennan under the ball. Michael Fitz making a bit of space for himself with Tommy Delaney, drops the ball, but Tommy keeps the ball in play, drives it out to the sideline, hops off of Paul Brennan's boot, going right out near the sideline, out over the line. Tommy Delaney getting the ball out for a sideline ball for Ballypickas. So Joe Miller going to take this cut from nearly the same place he took it the last time. Joe tries it beautifully in as far as the Camross man. Handy one enough. Paul Brennan keeping the ball. Paul Brennan has the ball up in hand. Gets around the first Camross man. Gets a handy free. Gets a free. Not a handy free, but should be a handy scoreable chance this one. Paddy O'Brien coming over to take it. Only about 20 metres. 5 or 6 metres to the right of the goals. So Ballypickas should open the score, but don't forget there's over 26 or 7 minutes gone in this game. Jimmy Fitz putting back, so Patrick O'Brien looking at the goals, about 21 metres, lifts the ball, strikes, and Ballypickas is off. Ballypickas has the first score on the thing, 1 point. Now they're going to start. After a lot of pressure on, had 6 poor wides as I said earlier on, now they have scored one. This might get him going. They needed a score fierce badly. So they're off, out the field. Ballypickas crowd coming to their... Nice, Jimmy Delaney picking the ball way out the far side of the field, out under Noel Delaney trying to catch it, stretches for the ball, doesn't get it in first attempt, trying to move it. Michael Mack swinging fairly heavy, and it's going to be a free against them, so a free in for Camross. Tommy Delaney going out to take this one again on the far side of the field. 6 or 8 metres in from the line, out about 75 metres. Tommy lifts, strikes, wait in, dropping out. Joe Dollar trying to keep it in play, but it gets out wide on him, so a wide ball. Rocky Dalton going to drive it down again. Way out the field, dropping to Noel Delaney. Joe Mack under. Joe swinging the ball on, hops out over Joe Miller's head, out as far as Palmer. Palmer moves the ball as far as Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney gets the ball in half block. Joe Mack drives it in as far as Stephen Mortimer. On as far as Michael Dooley driving the ball right across the field. Out as far as Darragh Phelan. Darragh Phelan keeping the ball beautiful. Out as far as Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler getting the ball. Brian on the ground. Strikes the ball, blocked by Dooley's foot. In as far as Paul Brennan. Joe Miller with the ball. Joe looking around. Joe drives the ball in. Tommy Delaney blocks it down. Joe Miller waiting for the hop to catch it. It's in his hand. Watch it. Out as far as Noel Delaney. Michael McAvoy bringing it across the field. Back over across as far as Sod Carter. Sod Carter racing for the ball. Sod Carter lifting the ball. Keeps the ball in play. But the Camross man has it in his hand. And he's taking a solar and Sod has it by the ball back again. Tricked him and drives the ball right back down again. But Sullivan has it in his hand. Sullivan catching, going to pass Noel Delaney on a solo and hand passes it out. Dropping into Sod's corner again. John Day racing out for the ball. John Day trying to swing. Hops off. John Day getting it up into his hand. Trying to get out. He does. He gets out beautiful. Solomon Dummy. He's trying to move the ball over beautiful out as far as Darragh Phelan. Darragh Phelan racing for the ball. Darragh has it in his hand. Trying to push out past the half hour. The boys trying to hold him out. He hand passed the ball out beautiful to Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler now Ballypickas hurling. Brian Lawler into the square. Beautiful ball. Drops down to James Delaney out from the goals. Michael Fitz racing for him. The ball is going to be carried out and wide. Hard look. Ballypickas is starting to hurl now though. As I said in hard luck, Camross in no rush of this ball. Camross in total control at the moment. James Delaney stealing a bit of time here, hopping the ball in the hurl, going to drive it out. Drops it way out the field again, over towards Joe Mack and Michael Mack. Joe under the ball, Joe swings, doesn't get the ball. Brendan Keogh trying to keep it, Michael Mack trying to keep the ball, swings, but it broke in. Darragh Phelan trying to keep the ball, but it's moved. Sod Carter moving the ball back down as far as Palmer. Palmer putting the ball up. Joe Miller trying to keep it moving. 2 Camross man there. Cuddy, out as far as Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh working his way out of trouble. There's a good few Camross mans around. Joe Mack it was actually. Joe Mack driving the ball in as far as Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan has in his hand, but the ball gets in as far as Michael Fitz. Michael Fitz in the square trying to push it. Tommy Delaney's back. Tommy has in his hand. Michael Fitz putting pressure on it. Tommy Solon out, keeping it out to the sideline. Driving out to Kilmartin. Kilmartin dropping the ball out as far as Darragh Phelan. Darragh Phelan getting the ball again. Dooley swings the hurl, doesn't get him. Darragh pushing forward, trying to get the ball over as far as Cathal Fleming, kind of foul maybe, but however, Cathal Fleming trying to get the ball up. Cathal Fleming jostling the Camross went out of the way. Joe Mack pushing forward. Joe looking up at the goals. Joe's going to have a shot. Joe had a massive game here in the semi-final, but it just again hard look again, inches wide, but it's wide. Ballypickas with 7 very near ones, but just didn't go over the bar from it. Hard look, and the opposite was the way in the semi-final when everything went over the bar for him here against Glennislee. Did he use up all their luck that day or what? James Delaney going to pick out the ball. Ballypickas 1 point. James Delaney going to pick out the ball again, getting very near half time. Out the far side of the field, out again. James Fitz blows for half time. The game is on again. Joe Miller strikes the ball in as far as Noel Delaney. Joe Mack out for it. These boys must have got a heavy talking at half time. They're starting on fire here. Murta McWee on the ball in as a sub. The first sub, taps the ball out beautiful to Cathal Fleming. Cathal Fleming cutting the ball in, and hard luck again. I hope this half won't be the same as the first half with the narrow wides. Ballypickas winning plenty of possession, but definitely not scoring. They had oceans of possession in the first half as well, going out for wide. So Larry Scully must have given a good talk at that half time. They'll be hoping for more luck in this half. Ballypickas need a goal to open up the game, to get them in touch, and certainly it would be in their grasp then. Brendan Keogh trying to get the ball out as far as Brian Orr catching Michael McAvoy winning the free. So now Ballypickas starting up better. Joe Miller back in the backs this time, so Joe Miller going to take this one. Joe Miller striking the ball, getting the right one in as far as Murta McWee. Murta coming out for the ball. Tommy Delaney tapping the ball. Joe Mack out. Tommy Delaney sips it away from Joe Mack out as far as Sullivan moving the ball out past Joe Miller. Big pull from Dara Phelan. The ball coming back out as far as Noel Delaney with it in his hand, trying to make a bit of space for himself, but can't, and Jimmy Fitz giving him a free. So here now, if Ballypickas could only score the frees, they'd be well in touch after missing a good few handy frees. But his luck should come around this time, so hopefully he get a score. Michael Fitz gone off, Murta McWee in. That's the changes at half time, so Patrick O'Brien hoping for more luck this time. Lifts the ball, looks around, drives it straight, and straight over the bar. Now this might shake up Ballypickas and they might get going from here. 2 points. The crowd rising behind Ballypickas here. At this stage in the game, we'll say hello to Francis Carr. He's out in America at the moment. Francis could have been here for this game. He's away. So now Tommy Delaney going to drive out the ball. Tommy driving way down the field. Dara Phelan running for the ball. With a bit of time, they're swinging with one hand. Neither of them gets it. Brendan Keogh trying to keep the ball in. Cuddy swinging in it. Into the corner, swinging it across. Brendan Keogh playing it safe, keeping the ball in, swings with one hand, trying to get the ball out. Cuddy has it again in his hand. Cuddy looking for a free, doesn't get it, hops the ball twice in the hurl. Super work by Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler getting the ball way up the field. Better hurling all together from Ballypickas. Paul Brennan out in front for the ball. Paul Brennan looking up, drives the ball right into the square in as far as Murta McWee. Tommy Delaney keeps it down though. Murta coming out for getting the ball into his hand and first touch. Beautiful stuff going around the boys on a solo run, watching the Ballypickas man looking at the goals with the ball and going a bit far, trying to get the ball out. Tommy Delaney swinging, lost the ball, took a little bit too much out. Joe Miller first out the ball. Joe getting a swing, beautiful stuff into the square, a little bit far. Nothing. Patrick O'Brien running for James Delaney out from the goal, trying to guard it over the line, going very slowly over, but it's over the line. Ballypickas hurling with more urgency altogether this half. Looks a lot better. Brian Lawler on the far side of the field. The mentor shouting them into it here, trying to get him going. Larry Scully, course trainer, Tom Cahill, and Pat Dooley and Tony Carter, the 3 selectors. The ball being dropped out by James Lane. Now as far as Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan pushing him out from under the ball. A super hand, getting the ball, showing him away, drives the ball into the square in as far as Cathal Fleming. Cathal Fleming trying to move the ball in the line, doesn't move it, but doesn't move it too far. Patrick O'Brien one hand to swing from Camross. Noel Delaney trying to get the ball up. Joe Miller swinging. Joe getting the ball in beautifully. The ball cutting him, going over as far as Murta McWee and Tommy Delaney. Tommy Delaney getting the ball again, swing. And of course Tommy Delaney trying to get the ball out. Does get it out as far as Cathal Gorman doing beautiful work. Cathal Gorman swinging the ball, a fierce lot of pressure on Ballypickas as far as Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan missed the ball, breaks, and of course Tommy Delaney, the man in luck here. Ball being backed down, being broke in as far as Patrick O'Brien. Paul Brennan trying to get to it. Murta McWee was in the square with him. Only could get the ball in. Can't get out. Camross man getting it out this side of the field under Michael Mack, but it's going to go over the line, is it? Being guarded very near the line and gets out over the line. Took it a long time to get along the line. Ballypickas hurling much better in this half. Tony Carter, the man that came on in 1980, a selector of course in the team as well. A heavy debate during the week on a site in Ballyroan. Who has played in the most finals? Tony Carter's name is mentioned. Ned Day's name is mentioned. Personally I think Tom Cahill played as many finals that two of them put together. A lot of shoving over the ball here with Michael Mack and number 13. Jimmy Fitz telling him to hold on, putting back the 2 players back a bit from the line. Tony Carter looking up, see where can he place this ball. Swinging the ball. A fair one enough, up along the line, very near the line again, barely on the line, up as far as Patrick O'Brien, travelled well. Patrick O'Brien trying to swing, doesn't get it in. Camross man drops it out. Martin Gohan dropping the ball out over the line. Joe Miller going to take this sideline ball. Ballypickas with all the pressure on. Joe Miller will drop this one in around the house now. Joe Miller swinging, drops the ball in, beautiful ball in as far as top of Camross, out as far as Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney trying to shake off the Camross man. Dropping the ball as far as Carl Fleming trying to get the ball, 3 Camross men around him and get the ball off him. Palmer drives the ball way down the field, and down as far as Cathal Gorman. Brendan Keogh under John Day trying to keep it. Cathal Gorman on his knees but keeps the ball going, keeps the ball moving. A lot of lads in the huffle. Jimmy Fitz floated, but no, he doesn't. He leaves him hurling on the ground. And as far as Tony Carter, Tony swinging fairly strong, trying to get the ball out, but Dooley has it. Dooley maybe man of the match. He's playing a super game here. And as far as Rocky Donald, Rocky has it in his hand, safe as a house, going out to the side. Out as far as Joe Miller, beautiful ball. Will it beat him to the line? No, it won't. Joe has it in his hand. He could has a hand pass. It doesn't. Drops it in straight away into Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan in the ball. Tommy Delaney moving out from the square, of course. The ball playing, hopping the ball. Paul Brennan trying to get it off. Martin McQueen the square. If they could only get the ball in. Cathal Fleming going for the ball. Camross has it. Hurls the ball down as far as PJ Cuddy. Brendan Keogh gets it moved forward. Sullivan moving the ball. Has no hurl but kicks it in forward. Some of these Camross lads can play footballs in as far as PJ Cuddy hops off of PJ's hand. And must be a free. And I'm looking for Garrett Cuddy, I told you. Our brother Sean Cuddy's the singer, getting that free. But Ballypickas hurling much better. So this will be a handy one enough for Joe Dollard. Out about 25 metres. Jimmy Fitz putting him out another few metres. So he's looking at the goals. Lifts, strikes and drives it way over the goals, of course, and a point again for Camross. Camross 1-6, Ballypickas 2 points, but Ballypickas coming way better into this game now. If they go on and you got a goal, I'll tell you one thing, there'll be some, this will be some finish to this final. The award here this evening, the Father Phelan Cup, of course. There's mentors in to Dooley again. The man who was in trouble in the first half, but he's hurling a great game for Camross. In the field. Just while this all up, we'll say hello to Michael Welsh, the man gone to New Zealand to milk cows, as if there wasn't enough of cows in Ireland to milk. He's gone over there, wouldn't milk his own, he's going to New Zealand to milk 300 or 400 cows. What would you think of that? And of course the last man we have to say hello to his own Carl. Owen gone to Australia. We'll say hello to Owen as well, this stage in the game. Ballypickas warming up a few subs here. Maybe Jim G will play in the second half. A bit of a loss to him, the Jim G getting injured. Good man to play in a final. Yes, he's going to get off the track, so to say. He's warming up alright. Rocky Dalton driving the ball way down the field as far as Noel Delaney. Noel under the ball, drops the ball down to catch it. Beautiful, and breaks inside. Jimmy Fitz didn't give him the advantage. He could have had an advantage. He had broke inside when he got the free. So Patrick O'Brien will take this one again. Out about 50 metres. A scoreable chance, a very scoreable chance with a dry ball today. Ballypickas lads running in. Standing over the ball, looking at the goals. His luck has to come around. He lifts the ball, strikes, and this on it, and it's over the bar. So now Pickas 3 points. So now Pickas going to get into this game, hurling much better in the second half. Good point from Patrick O'Brien, 50 yards. That might settle Patrick O'Brien now. He might get the next few of them. James Delaney, of course, borrowing a bit of time in the goals again in this half. No pressure on Camross. Going to drive the ball out. A bit of wind helping Ballypickas. Drives it way out the far side of the field. Out as far as Brian Lauder. Brian going for Joe Dollar, going for the ball, breaking out as far as Cuddy. Cuddy swinging up as far as Sullivan. Sullivan going on a bit of a solo run. Looks up, drops it over across the field, over forward. Michael McAvoy trying to snap it, brings it forward with his foot. Michael McAvoy still wondering was so Tony Carter going for Michael Mack, swings, hits off a Camross man, so still in play. Michael Mack trying to keep him, but it gets out over the line in the Camross man, and there's going to be a sideline ball for Ballypickas, but certainly a long ways away from the Camross goals down here in the corners. Tony Carter going to take this ball again. Tony throwing the flag out of the way, lining the ball up again. The man that wears half a glove every day, Tony Carter. Come on. His uncle Tony, of course, makes the hurls for Ballypickas. So Tony going to. His Ballypickas going to be on a sub the hour. Jim G is in the field. Jim G giving his name to Jane Fitzpatrick. They're looking up the field. Who's going to go off the Ballypickas team? Cathal Fleming, the county minor, is going off the team. After trying his heart out, Cathal Fleming here coming off the field. Todd Carter swings the ball at Darragh Phelan, holds the Camross man off. Out as far as Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler gets the ball, looks and gets a bit of a shot in the back. Should have been a free, doesn't see where the ball is. In comes Michael Mack to try the ball, but it's gone over the line, and a line ball for Ballypickas. Must have broke off the Camross man. Peter says it's a Peter doing linesman here today. Kenny. Line ball for Ballypickas. Joe Miller going to take it. Joe Dollar wants him to go back with the ball, but the ball is not going back. Joe is interested in driving the ball way down the field. Right on from Joe. In as far as Noel Delaney again. Noel putting up the hand for it, misses the ball. Cuddy, Joe Mack in for Noel Delaney trying to hold the ball, but it's going to be a free. PJ Cuddy a long ways out from the goals there, chopping PJ Cuddy, and it's going to be a free in for Camross. Tommy Delaney coming out to take this free again out on the centre of the field. Jimmy Fitz moving it forward a few metres. Sullivan leaving the ball down. Scoreable chance, throwing it forward. Wins slightly in favour of Ballypickas in the second half. Tommy Delaney looking for his options. Looking around, waiting to see what's going to happen. So Tommy bending down over the ball, looking at the goals. Lifts and strikes, drops it into the square, and as far as Peter Cuddy, Brendan Keogh, and as far as Rocky Dawn, but a ball broken, it's in the goals. Hard luck, John Day going for there and Rocky Dawn, but just that thing happened, the ball broken into the goals. Hard luck on Ballypickas. Ballypickas that needed a goal, but however, Camross now 2 goals and 6 points. The Ballypickas is 3 points. Rocky Dalton driving the ball out, way out the field. Down as far as Joe Mack. Joe Mack shoving under the ball, putting his hand up for moving the ball forward. 2 Camross men. Joe Mack swings, doesn't get the ball. Patrick O'Brien out for Noel Delaney keeping the ball. Noel bring the ball on, must have been a free, should have got a free, didn't get it. And he's going to give a line ball down. Peter O'Neill going to give a line ball for Camross this time. Camross with a line ball. Camross warming up a few subs here now as well. Ballypickas warming up another sub. Could have been Michael John Tierney, the county minor man that won an All-Ireland last week. Yes, he's been warmed up on the line here, Michael John Tierney. Has a name in his hand, he's going to go in the field. Tom Cahill talking to Jimmy Fitz. Michael John Tierney is in the field, giving his name to James Fitz. Now a bit of youth in the Ballypickas team. The young lads in to be able to run. Joe McAvoy, the man being brought off. The man that had a stormer in the semi-final. Didn't get on well today. Michael John Tierney will have a bit of speed here now. Might move the ball. Camross. Line ball for Camross. Drove away when a right good ball from Martin Gahan. Being held. Hard luck from Michael McAvoy. I was going to say held beautiful for him, but the ball got over the line and it was hard luck. So a line ball in for Camross. Michael Dooley going to take this ball. Going to drop the ball in. Swings, drops it way over across the far side of the field to PJ Dooley. PJ racing out for Brian Lawler, racing out for Dooley. Hits the ball in the hand, hops it off at Joe Cuddy, Joe Dollar. Joe Dollar gets in his hand, looks up at the goals, and does he put it over? No, hard look from Joe Dollar. Wide ball. Inches wide from Joe Dollar. No ball down here. Rocky Dalton look for a ball in a hurry. He needs a ball. Ballypickas under fierce pressure. Peter O'Neill with the flag up. Camross is going to bring on a sub. Camross is going to bring on Zane Keenan onto the team. Keenan going in for Camross. We don't know who's coming off. Dooley is coming off. Michael Dooley is coming off for Camross. Going into Mark Sud into corner forward. So Rocky Dalton going to drive out this ball. Way down the field again. Out as far as Noel Delaney. Joe Miller under the ball. Shoving. Joe Miller swings in the air. Doesn't get the ball moving. Back as far as Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler with the ball in his hand. Swings and drops it in as far as Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan stretches for the ball. Hops off his hand. Noel Delaney, Camross man. Cuddy driving it way down to Finn Palmer. Finn Palmer letting the ball run loose to Dooley. Dooley trying to keep the ball in the line. The ball, Michael Mack keeping it in beautiful. Michael Mack swinging and drives it up with 3 Camross men under. Sullivan driving the ball in as far as John O'Day and PJ Cuddy. No, the other Cuddy. And John O'Day swings in the air. Rocky Dalton has to come quick off the line to get this ball out. The ball broke out. Joe Dollar watching him. Rocky kicks the ball out past Dooley, going up the far side of the field. Murton McWee going running for the ball. Drops the ball over as far as Joe Miller drops the ball out as far with one hand out as far as who has it? Dooley has it back into the square again. Jack O'Day breaking for the ball. Joe Dollard looking for the ball. John Day being fouled. The ref doesn't see. Sod Carter trying to keep it now. The ball has been drove across the square and it's going out wide. Luckily enough there. Jack O'Day playing full back. The man with hurl with the Pickas trainers and that. John Day hurl with Aidan Barry and Tom Cahill and these lads. Driving the ball way out the field, but first man to break, of course, again is Sullivan. Driving the ball way back in again, wide at the other side of the goals. Luckily enough for Ballypickas. Brendan Sullivan after dropping in that one. Rocky Dalton, of course, in a bit of a hurry now, trying to get the ball out to Ballypickas, seeking to do it. Ball dropped over the side under Dara failing again. Dara getting under, putting up the hand for the ball again, breaking it down to Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney getting his hand. Noel sells a dummy. He's trying to get away from PJ Cuddy. PJ fouling him and a free in for Noel Delaney. Joe Miller coming out to take this ball. This ball will drop in around the kitchen. Maybe something will happen for Ballypickas. Joe drops her in beautifully. In as far as Paul Brennan. Gets a bit of a shove. Paul has the hand up. Getting the ball up. Paul trying to fight for the ball. The ball got away and I'm out as far as Sullivan again. Sullivan playing a fierce game. Joe Miller going over to try and block him. Sullivan tips the ball around Joe. Overcomes Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney trying to keep him from swinging the ball. He drops it over as far as Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler getting the ball out. Dooley is out in front of him. Dooley trying to hit the ball in the ground, but it's going out over the line and it has to be a Ballypickas line ball. Cathal Gorman throwing the ball out. Cathal going to take this one. Cathal Gorman with his hands full today with Joe Dollard. Cathal Gorman going to take the sideline ball. Jimmy Fitz holds up play. Camross man injured. Got a bit of belt again. Ballypickas hurling with more emergency now. And maybe if they could get a goal it'd make a fierce difference after saying a few times already. Beautiful day here in O'Moore Park. The game held up from it. They're looking over to the sideline, yep. It's certainly cold up here in the stand today, but not cold out in the field. Michael Mack roaring his team in, they're trying to get him moving. Bit of a hole up here at the moment. Another Camross man going in. Number 17 for Camross is going in the field. Number 17 is Owen Dorn going in the field. Camross man being taken off the far side of the field. Got a bit of an injury. Jimmy Fitz calling for Cathal Gorman to hit on the ball. Pucks the ball up. Ball broke back out as far as Dooley again. Dooley trying to move it forward. Cathal Gorman going for the ball. Cathal trying to hold it and he has it. Cathal Gorman getting the ball, doesn't rise it in the first time, pulls it on the ground, gets it moving out as far as PJ Cuddy. Oh, Cathal Gorman, a big swipe on a Camross man. A free in for Camross. Another chance for Joe Dollard. Out around 50 metres, very near the far side of the field. Only in 3 or 4 metres. Scoreable chance though, not out that far. So Joe standing over the ball. Joe lifts the ball, strikes, has the distance and has the accuracies over the bar. Another point for Camross. Joe Dollard scoring most of his frees. Hardly missed any yet. Rocky Dalton going to take the puck out again. Darragh Phelan racing out this side of the field looking for the ball. Rocky drives the ball over the far side of the field as far as Brian Lawler. Brian Lawler at the ball's hop, but Dooley breaks it out in front of him. Brendan Keogh going for it. Brendan Keogh trying to baits the ball out the far side of the field. Only as far as it's going to break in as far as Joe Dollard. Joe Dollard getting the ball up first time, going around, trims the ball back across as far as PJ Cuddy, but in comes Brendan Keogh and snaps it up beautiful. Up as far as Murtagh McWee. Murtagh McWee stretches in the air for the ball, gets it into his hand, taps it back as far as Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney turns around. He held up a little bit of Camross lad, but he's getting around. He's going to puck in the ball. He pucks it in. Out comes Jim G has the ball. Jim G going a bit of solo and Camross now trying to hold him out. He's being fouled. He taps the ball over. Didn't play the advantage again, of course, Jimmy Fitz. When Ballypickas had advantage, Michael John Tierney winding up there, but Jim G injured, I'd say. Got a bit of a belt there and he's trying to pass out the ball. Jim G lying down on the field. Mary Lawler going in to assist him. Jimmy Fitz should have played advantage that time. Taking the Camross man's name at this stage. The mentors down here under Pat Dooley, Larry Scully and PJ Lawler having a bit of a chat, seeing what they can do to change things, change their luck and get going in this game. Jim G is up and he's okay. Patrick O'Brien going to take this one. Scored the last one. Out about 30 metres, straight in front of the goals. Strikes. Straight over the bar. 4 points for Ballypickas. 2-7 for Camross. PJ Cuddy looking for the ball this into the field. Been marked by Brendan Keogh. James Delaney pucking out the ball. Way down the field. Down as far as PJ Cuddy. Darragh Phelan going for the ball. Broke in, well done. Brendan Keogh played that well. It hopped out. Brendan Keogh slipping out through a few Camross lads, looking around to see has he room to swing. He has. Swings the ball in as far as Patrick O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien, the ball breaking. Jim G getting the ball, but Delaney gets it way down the field for Camross. Cathal Gorman and Joe Dollard. Cathal Gorman pulling. Joe Dollard lets the ball go. Jack O'Day is out too. Jack O'Day doing great work. Tips the ball out as far as Brian Lawler. Joe Dollard got a bit of a tip that time. We don't know. The ball was being put out as far as Brian Lawler. Jimmy Fitz, the referee, calling out John Day. He must have saw something after the ball moved. John Day's name being taken at this stage. So John Day's name being taken. He's showing him a yellow card. Joe Dollar coming out to take the free. This stage, not too far away from where he got the point the last time from a free, only 4 or 5 metres away. Scoreable chance again. Joe Dollard bending down over the ball, strikes, and of course straight over the bar. Another point for Camross. Rocky Dawn hitting the ball out very quickly out as far as Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan trying to move the ball. Dara moved the ball, lost the hurl. Michael Mack comes out, giving Camross man a shoulder, moves the ball away from Northern Lane, trying to Camross man swinging. Dara Phelan is up at this stage and is trying to push forward, has a free. Dara Phelan wins a free and is a free for Ballypickas. Joe Miller coming flying over to take this. PJ Cuddy pushing back the ball back to where this free should be. Joe Miller looking to go and take the free. This is landing around the kitchen again. Pickas need a goal. Joe Miller lifting, striking in around the square. Paul Brennan in there. Tommy Delaney. A lot of actions in the top and in the square. Tommy Delaney coming across for Tommy Delaney, swinging the ball out as far as PJ Cuddy out this side of the field. Going to be very near the line and absolutely out over the line. The line ball in for Ballypickas. Ballypickas want to make it more use of this ball when it falls in the square. Joe Miller swinging. Joe drives it beautiful into the corner again. Jim G out for the ball, hops on. Delaney gets it out in front of him. Sullivan again out, and Sullivan looks up and strikes the ball way down the field as far as Keenan. Jack O'Day out for Cuddy with him. Jack O'Day, the ball hops up. Cuddy has no hurl. Jack O'Day has a hurl. Cuddy shouldering him off, and Mike Mack back to the rescue. Mike Mack has it in his hand. Drips the ball beautifully as far as Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan has it in his hand. Got away in a minute. He's pushing forward. Dara drives the ball out as far as Brian Lawler. Here's a chance. Brian Lawler drops it into the square. Another ball into the square. Dropping into Patrick O'Brien. Going into the square again, but no, Delaney has it again. He's dropping the ball out. Jim G trying to block the ball down. Stops it the first time, but he gets in the second now as far as Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney out with 50 metres. Noel lifting the ball. Slips to the first Camross. Drops it in beautifully into the square again. Paul Brennan with 2 Camross men here. A lot of pulling going on. It drops as far as Michael John Tierney. Was it or who dropped the ball in the square? I said they want to make more use of the ball. Dropped as far as Michael John Tierney in the square again. They want to make more use of this ball in the square. Time ticking away in Ballypickas at this stage. So it's going to be a free out again for Tommy Delaney. Tommy Delaney on the ball way down the field as far as Joe Dollard and Cathal Gorman, and Cathal Gorman trying to keep him. Jack O'Day out for the ball. Cuddy after him. Jack O'Day getting into his hand, of course, beautifully. Son a bit of a solo run. Jack O'Day doing beautiful work out as far as Dooley. Slips him beautifully and drops the ball in as far as Murta McWee. Murta McWee letting the ball on as far as Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan goes around 2 Camross lads swinging. It should have been a free in. He does get a free in, but a free in for Ballypickas. Out about 50 metres to Paul Brennan. Just when they look to be getting the ball in. Bit of time being wasted here. Ball being thrown from one to the other. Patrick O'Brien, Jimmy Fitz, the referee, putting it back a few metres with the ball. Patrick O'Brien out the far side of the field. Take this free. Got the last couple of frees. Should score this one. Out about 45 metres. Lifts and lets fly and drives it in, and it's over the bar. Another point for Ballypickas. 5 points for Ballypickas now. 2-8 for Camross, of course. A bit of a gap. They need goals. So there's another sub in for Camross, number 23 in for Camross. Who's coming off this time for Camross? We can't be sure. The man going in is AJ Cuddy. Cuddy is a very prominent name up around Camross. Another Cuddy man coming off. Noel Cuddy coming off. Noel Cuddy, of course, a nephew of PJ Cuddy's. So James Delaney pucking out the ball again. Tries it way down the field. PJ Cuddy making her now for, but Sullivan is under with Joe Miller. PJ Cuddy swinging and moving the ball. Dara Phelan swing. Jack O'Day swinging the ball. The new man it's in, and of course it drops out to PJ Cuddy. PJ Cuddy hand passing the ball over, and the ball goes out and wide. Hard luck. Out as far as Michael Dooley. But that was Garrett Cuddy who had that shot. Another sub in for Ballypickas. Liam Phelan in for Ballypickas. Tony Carter going off the field for Ballypickas. Dara Phelan under this ball, trying to get it up. The ball breaks down. Joe Miller swinging out as far as Michael McAvoy. Michael Beck has the ball, shoving forward past a couple of Camross lads. Kicks the ball in as far as Paul Brennan. Paul Brennan trying to catch it. The ball breaks out as far as Delaney. Delaney drives the ball way down as far as Keenan with the ball on the line. Liam Phelan gives a bit of a shove, doesn't get him over, hand very near. Kitty lets fly and hard luck, it's only out a few inches and wide again from Keenan. So Liam Phelan in the Ballypickas team. Camross warming up more subs here. Rocky Dalton driving the ball out this side of the field as far as Noel Delaney. Noel Delaney breaking, hops into and drove way down the field over as far as Dollard and Cathal Gorman again, and the ball is going to get out wide on the two of them. Stephen Mortimer driving that ball in as far as Joe Dollard. The ball getting out wide. Rocky Dalton and again another sub in for Camross. Peter O'Neill with the flag up here. Jimmy Fitz. Niall Cuddy in the field. Another Cuddy going in the field. Garrett Cuddy coming off. PJ Cuddy up for the ball with Brendan Keogh. Has the ball out in front of him. Brian Lawler gets the ball. Brian Lawler trying to sell a dummy. Should have been a free, and he is getting a free at this stage. Dooley. Free for Brian Lawler. Brian will drop this in around the kitchen again. No, Joe Miller is looking for the ball. Joe's going to take this one. No, Brian Lawler is going to take it. Two of them had to take this ball. Drop it in around the square. Noel Delaney getting in there. Michael John Tierney in around the square. Joe Miller running in at the moment. They need a goal in here badly. Brian Lawler drives the ball, not as good a run as he thought. Jim G getting out under the ball. The ball breaks beautiful to him. Jim G trying to push forward. He has the ball, he's pushing forward, he kicks the ball. No Camross lad, three Camross mans on him. Noel Delaney moving the ball forward. Mortimer making a bit of space for himself, hand pass the ball out to the sideline. Out as far as Keenan again. Keenan getting the ball. Keenan a nice bit of a hurler. Pass as far as Michael Mack. Michael Mack trying to get the ball up. Heads it, his foot slips out past the Camross man. Gets a bit of a touch. Tries to get the ball in. Was blocked. Keenan has it. Brendan Keogh holding him up. PJ Cuddy swinging. Brendan Keogh pushing forward. Brendan Keogh and Jim G. And the ball is moved out. And who's out for it now? Liam Phelan. Liam's first touch of the ball. Liam has it on his chest and he's pushing forward. Drives the ball in as far as Patrick O'Brien. Patrick had it in his hand, looking up to see where he can hit. Drives it all across the field on as far as Sullivan. Sullivan getting the ball. Jim G holding him up beautifully. Jim holding it down. He pucks it down the ball down as far as Cathal Gorman and Joe Dollard. A massive tussle between these two men here. Cathal Gorman has it in his chest and drives the ball down as far as Patrick O'Brien. Patrick under. Mortimer under. Noel Delaney trying to keep it. Cuddy ball in and out as far as Michael McAvoy. Michael ball hopping. You think it was hot. Joe Dollard trying to get the ball off him. Michael Mack moves it forward and as far as PJ Cuddy. PJ moving it over as far as Dooley. Dooley running over the far side of the field. Dooley playing a great game. Joe Miller racing to get to him, put a bit of pressure on. Dooley looks up at the square, has a shot. Joe Miller blocks it. Beautiful. Joe drives the ball forward. Only as far as Sullivan again. And who's Murton McWee? They're all after him. Jimmy Fitz looking to see what's going to happen. He's on his knees. The cameraman gets the ball forward. Brian Lawler getting up in his hand. Brian moving backwards, get a puck out. It's blocked by Dooley. Joe Miller trying to move it forward. Dooley has the ball. Dooley pucks it back across the square in as far as Cathal Gorman. Cathal Gorman breaks, but Keenan has it. Keenan looks at the goals and he just has a nice easy shot and it's over the bar. Another point for Camross. So now 2-9 for Camross, 5 points of Ballypickas. Rocky Dalton in a hurry at the moment, driving the ball way out this side of the field, out as far as Dara Phelan. Dara Phelan up for the ball, catches it beautiful. A great man to catch a ball, shoving forward. Camross lads fouling him at this stage. No pressure on Camross, of course. Fouling the ball. Noel Delaney standing over the ball. Joe Miller coming straight over to take a free in. Out about 75-80 metres. Ballypickas hurling much better in the second half. Just the scores are not coming. It's hard luck on them because the scores are not coming. They're hurling great. They have plenty of possession. Ball being dropped into the squares. It's now out as far as going a bit strong. Paul Brendan is there. And the ball gets out wide. Throws the ball back across James Delaney. So James going to take this puck out. Definitely burn a few minutes here. No pressure on him whatsoever. Game getting very near the closing stages here. Only 2 or 3 minutes left. Camross warming up another sub. James Delaney pucking the ball out as far as Finn Palmer. Finn turning and strikes the ball right into the square. Jack O'Day under the ball. Jack O'Day swinging. The ball breaks. Jack O'Day is still getting the ball out. Liam Phelan moving out. PJ Cuddy under the ball. A strong man. PJ running in front of the goals. PJ lets fly in as far as Rocky Dalton. No power behind the shot, luckily enough, and Rocky Dalton is getting out the side of the field. Dara Phelan going for. Keenan going for. Keenan has the legs looking at the goals. Drops the ball over in as far as Rocky Dalton. Rocky catches it again out the far side of the field. Kicks the ball out. The safest thing to do. Joe Miller under the ball. Sullivan under the ball. Brian Lawler swinging on the ground, driving the ball way up as far as Michael John Tierney. Dara Phelan cutting in, but Cuddy moving the ball forward. Noel Delaney has the ball and a free in for Ballypickas. Dooley standing over the ball, hindering Joe Miller trying to clear the ball. Camross bringing in another sub. Flags up, Camross looking to bring in subs. No, it's going down. Have no sub out here. Waving on play. Joe Miller drops the ball into the box again. Paul Brennan with the two Camross men standing. They can play it safe, swinging in the square. The ball hops, of course, down to Tommy Delaney. No one standing back straight, cutting out to the side, Jim G marking. Hand passes the ball. Jim G bleeding the ball off him beautifully, but hard luck, it got out over the line, tipped the ball away from Tommy Delaney. Hard luck there. Ballypickas putting on plenty of pressure, just can't get the ball in. Eamon Carter in for Ballypickas, Patrick O'Brien off. Eamon Carter, his son Ryan had a massive game at Ballyroan School the other day in the football in the field. James Delaney driving the ball way down the field again. Dara failing under the ball, up for the ball, stretches for it in the heavens and brings it down. A free, got a bit of a push in the back when he drops it down. Camross doing a lot of fouling at the moment. Ballypickas getting plenty of frees and plenty of possession. The scores aren't coming, whatever is wrong. Joe Miller dropping it into the square again, over as far as Eamon Carter. Eamon Carter going for it. Eamon trying to coax the ball around him. Jim G keeping the ball in play. Camross men driving out the side of the field. A massive race for the ball. Dara Fale and Sullivan coming for the ball. Dara Fale is shoved off the ball by Sullivan. Sullivan trying to get the ball. Jim G is into him. Dara Fale is in and top man. It's going to be a free. A free for the Camross man. 9. And of course not a big lot of time left in this game. Jimmy Fitz calling out Dara Fale at this stage, looking for him, giving Dara Fale the warning for going on top of the Camross man there. A lot of time ticking away, of course. Only a few minutes left. Ballypickas 5 points, Camross 2-9. Ballypickas didn't have big luck in the last lot of finals they got into. Last final one, of course, 94. One bit Coat in the league in Kyle. 93 against Portlaoise. Hoping for better luck today. It wasn't to be, with the looks of things. Oh, it's going to be a free for Camross. I suppose the senior players in Camross, the cuter, more experienced than the Ballypickas lads at this level. Tommy Delaney going to take this free, driving the ball way into the square, in as far as Brendan Keogh and PJ Cuddy. Liam Phelan bringing the ball out as far as Brendan Keogh looking around to see where he can tip it out as far as Noel Delaney, Murta McWee. The ball being dropped. Murta McWee going for Cuddy, moving it forward as far as Dara Fale. Dara Stretchford misses. Keenan has the ball again, a very lively player, drops the ball in nice as far as Brendan Keogh. PJ Cuddy going for Brendan Keogh, has it way down the field. Paul Brennan going for this ball. Paul stretching for the ball being broke down in as far as Michael John Tierney seeing the ball, drives the ball in as far as Jim G. Jim G waiting for someone to arrive. Paul Brennan arrives, but the ball gets a bit far away, and Paul Brennan, the Camross man, gets it out over the line, and it's going to be a line ball for Ballypickas. Ballypickas getting hard to break down this Camross full back line, just can't get inside him. So Joe Miller going to take the sideline ball on the far side of the field. Time ticking away. Joe drives the ball into the square again. Paul Brennan catches the ball, hops off his hand in as far as Jim G. Jim G turn around to have a look, see what he can do. Drops the ball in across the square. Eamon Carter pulls the ball. It's going out as far as Michael John Tierney. Michael John Tierney on the ground, drops the ball in, but gets out and wide on him. Just the scores will not come. Jimmy Fitz warned the Camross man here, but I'd say this game is coming to the closing stages now. Jimmy Fitz waiting for the ball. What's going to be? It's going to be free in for Ballypickas, is it? Yes, Jimmy is going to give him a free in. Joe Miller, I'd say, going to take this, probably take it low. Standing over the ball, free in for Ballypickas. Michael John Tierney going to take it. Looks at the Ballypickas. 6 Camross lads in the goals. Will there be room for the ball to get in past them? Michael John Tierney taking on the ball, lifting it and dragging along the ground. Got a poor one at it, and the ball is going to be hopped out. Ned Carter racing out for, drops it back across the square, hops up a Camross man, hops in the square. Murta McWee, a lot of pulling going on here. Jim G swinging, Joe Miller swinging, the ball being broke out across the far side of the field, and when it got over the line, yes, it does get over the line. It's going to be a wide ball. Cruel hard looking Ballypickas, just can't get a score. Murta McWee down injured after getting the belt of a hurl. His knee or something. James Delaney, Jimmy Fitz going over to him, has got it on the knee, I'd say. Jimmy Fitz calling in mentors in here. Tom Carl, the first man in the field. PJ Lawler, Mary Lawler, they're in to see what's going on. The dying stages. 2-9 to Camross, 5 points for Ballypickas. Now again, Martin McQueen, yeah, he's making a bit of a run. Jimmy Fitz calling for the ball to puck it out. Puck out the ball. Jimmy Fitz calling for him. The game is all over. Camross has won the junior final. Hard luck to Ballypickas. So just easy winners in the finish up.
Carja, on behalf of Kishta Kundalisha, I'd like to compliment Ballypickas and Camross on reaching the Junior A Championship final. And Ballypickas, I would say to you, keep up the good work in that area of the county. And I've no doubt that you'll be back to take this trophy in the coming year. The Camross keep coming back and taking trophies at every level, and it just goes to show you the amount of work that's being done by people like Matty Collier and those people who look after teams up there, the underage teams, and that is why Camross are taking these trophies. It's easy for adults to come in and take over, but it's the people who spend the nights in the field with your young lads is what it's all about, and to those you owe a debt of gratitude for keeping your club alive. I would like to thank Laois Credit Unions for sponsoring our championships. We need sponsorship in Laois more so now than ever with the preparation of our county teams, and the credit unions came on board this year and sponsored the league and championships, and I'd like you to show your appreciation for the credit unions, and Frank McLean in particular, who is representing them here this evening. I would like to compliment Jimmy Fitzpatrick, Tony Delaney and Peter O'Neill and their officials for a job well done. I'd like to show your appreciation for those men. The credit unions have sponsored the man of the match, and the man of the match in today's game, Tommy Delaney, fullback. I'd ask Frank McLean to present the trophy. Without further ado, I hand over the trophy to the captain, and he adds this one to the league title which he won already, and I've no doubt that they'll be coming in the years to come to take more trophies. Without further ado, I present the cup.
I called you go there. Be on us and down arm. First of all, I'd like to thank the club committee, the chairperson Kieran Delaney, Frank McLean. I'd like to thank everything they've done for us this year. Fixtures. Between the fixtures and practice matches, they've organised everything for us this year, so thanks very much. It's been a great year all round. The 15 lads that played today and all the subs throughout the year done a great effort. And this is what we have today, well, because of that. So the selectors, the two selectors out there today, Corey Cogan, Pat Collier, have been great all year round, so they were. Come on. None of this today would be possible without one man. He weighs all year long, thick and thin. That's Declan Culleton. This for you, Deck, boy. For you. Oh yeah. I'd like to thank the three women for the sandwiches and everything. It's grand. Most of all, I'd like to thank everyone that's here today, all the supporters, everyone. You've been great all year long and stuck with us, so now we have it. And last but not least, Ballypickas there gave us a great sporting game of hurling, and I know in my heart and soul that they'll be there next year and hopefully they can go one step further. So 3 cheers for Ballypickas. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! And one more thing, I'd just like to say happy birthday to Kipper.
Well, with me now I have James Delaney here, captain of Camross team, successful Camross team, accepting a trophy for the second time this year. He was also captain when they defeated Kyle convincingly in the league final. James, one of the younger members of this junior team, but certainly a player with a bright future. James, you had an easy day today.
Very easy today, but we thought that Ballypickas would be a lot stronger. We've been training now flat out for the last 3 months after the league final, training non-stop, and it's all really paid off now today.
Ballypickas, I suppose, drove an awful lot wise in the first half, and maybe if they had to put their possession to better use, score might have been much closer at half time.
It would have been a lot closer. It would have been more than likely a draw match at half time. And if they missed an awful lot of chances in the first half of freeze, but that's mostly what they scored from. But if they had to convert, I'd say it would have been a lot closer there today.
What does this mean to you, James? I suppose it means not an awful lot to Camross. This is their 6th junior title, I suppose, and their first since 1988, but it's always nice to be in the winners' roster.
It's brilliant, so it means a lot to me. It's brilliant, so it is. Hurling with my uncle Tommy and Joe, and hurling with the likes of PJ Cuddy and them boys, and to bring home a trophy, 2 trophies this year, it's unbelievable.
Tommy Delaney won a medal. As you said, Uncle Tommy won a medal back in 1981 when Camross beat Tim Mahoney. He won a league medal the previous year. I suppose you were very small at that time. Were you even born?
Oh, it is about 2, so I was. Sure, he's been winning them up all along, and he's collected so many trophies and so many medals, championships, everything. And this is what he wanted. Same PJ Cuddy. This is PJ Cuddy's very first ever junior medal. Well, junior A medal anyway. So it means a lot to the boys too inside.
Well, your own father was no mean hurler either. I suppose you learned a bit at home, did you?
Of course I did. He taught me a lot. Sure, I won a good bit himself too, so it's passed on.
There's a couple of young fellas out there, James. Your neighbour there, Brendan Sullivan, played very well.
Yes, Brendan, the Clipper Palmer, they all played very well. Tommy Delaney, their man of the match, excellent. Joe Dullard scored about 10 or 11 frees today, so from play or whatever. He still scored them, so they all hurled very well. Every one of them hurled. Team effort, that's what it was.
Wasn't your favourite position, I think, in goal? You like to play a bit out the field?
I didn't mind. I love the goals now. It's fair. I play well there, and that's the way it is. So I don't mind.
James, it'll help you shorten the winter for you, I suppose. There'll be a bit celebrating for a while.
Hopefully, I said it will anyway.
James Delaney, congratulations on your double success.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
And I have with me now one of the mentors of this team, a man who spent an awful lot of time, probably through his own injury, he's been able to devote more time to training this junior team. It's gone on a long time, it has a lot of postponements, but I suppose in the end it was worth the effort, Pat.
Oh God, well worth it. It was great. It was delayed a couple of months there. Ballypickas had a few lads involved there with the elite footballers, which was great in its own. But we kept proving, kept training. The lads put in a tremendous effort this year. I have to say that we had 36 there at the start and ended up with 33. So it was great. It was no big job to train them. They were there. They did the work, and we were just delighted on the day to get the win. You know.
Pat, there was a couple of old stagers there today. I suppose old heads with the young fellas around them probably helped, but hard to keep old stagers going.
Very hard. I have to hand it to them. Well, the lads say 3 men, but to me there's 5. There's Des Kilmartin, Tommy Delaney and Billy Fellon, our full backline, 3 men over 40. And there's PJ Cuddy then and Joe Dollard. Them 5 men, I couldn't put into words the effort them men put in the field this year. They carried the young lads, but I have to say on the day the young lads did their bit as well. And I'd like to thank Tommy Delaney for the display he gave down the backline today. It was great.
I think PJ has probably completed the round. He was here when they won the intermediate defeat in Ratneska back in 2000. Played a major part with his son Gary, and today his son AJ came on. He won his first senior medal back in 1976 and then went on to win 5 in a row, and he was captain when they came back to win their next one in 85. I suppose we have seen nearly the end of one of Camross' greatest servants.
Yeah, definitely one of the greatest players that ever played upon a Camross jersey, or a Leafs jersey for that matter. And when he goes, the same as Tommy and Joe, when they go, we haven't the men to replace him, and that's a fact. We're going to be, hopefully the young lads will step up, but them men have been through the mill, they've won every honour in club hurling, and I'd like to say the same to PJ, a great display again today, and without him it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, well, you blooded a couple of young fellas there, and I suppose it was great for the young fellas to come on and bring in the likes of Zane Keenan and AJ Cuddy, young fellas like that. They have a long future ahead of them. Whether it's as fruitful as their fathers remains to be seen.
Well, the way things are at present, like we're not going that well as you know in the senior level, but still, having said that, we weren't that far off the mark this year. Maybe a little bit more effort from everyone concerned, and next year, please God, we will get there. But it's great to blood them young lads today. That's a great experience for them, and hopefully them young lads will step up next year in hurling intermediate, and hopefully after a year or two they'll be up with the seniors and we can get Camross back to the top.
Well, Pat, last year Athlone won the junior, probably a bit of a surprise in here last Saturday evening. They probably caused the biggest surprise we had in the intermediate. I suppose to step up from junior to intermediate, if you can maintain a fairly strong team, it's not a huge gap.
No, I firmly believe, I've said it all year to this team, if we can put it together and keep the training going and the effort and the commitment, that we can go on and we can win this junior. And now that we have achieved that, I firmly believe that junior team is well fit to give any of the intermediate teams a good run for the championship next year. With our own intermediate team, when we intermingle them, I think we'll give the intermediate a good run next year.
Pat, I suppose a lot of clubs winning the Father Phelan Cup and probably the league, winning the league as well. A great performance probably in the league final against Kyle, and maybe because it was played earlier, and would mean an awful lot to most clubs. But Camross lost the junior final in '94 on the same day they won the Brady Cup. But clubs like Camross, who have won so much and who, I suppose, senior hurling, as you know yourself, is really considered the grade to win in Camross. Anything else is only a bonus. I suppose at the end of the year, after the disappointment so long since they won senior, it's great to be winning at some grade. And last year, where it was a bad year, they came back here and beat Kilcotton to win a league final with, and managed the match performance there by Joe Dollard last year as well, and Tommy Delaney. But it's nice to win the junior. It's nice to win a title of any grade.
Yeah, well, in the parish there, all you'd have to do up around there for the last 3 weeks or that, since it really got going, like the buzz for the final and that. All the people in the parish, this junior final has meant a lot to Camross. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes there from women there at night making tea for us and sandwiches, and this meant a lot to Camross, Pat. I know we're down a few years there in the senior, but I honestly believe with the proper commitment, there is 30 men in Camross or 28 fit to bring back the senior title to Camross. I firmly believe that with the right effort and attitude, I think Camross will be a force again in a few years' time.
Well, certainly the attitude was certainly right for that team. Some of them maybe gone over the top and some of them only coming on. And I suppose if that same level of commitment could be got at senior level, certainly there'd be no reason why success should elude them much longer.
No, I agree with you again, Pat. At the start of the year, we sat down, we called the lads together. There was, as I said, 36. We told the lads that we had 12 league matches and we intended getting plenty of practice, and that every chap that came and put in a bit of an effort was going to get a match. That has happened. Every player of the 36 has played in the black and amber on that junior team this year. And we also said anybody messing or out of hand, we weren't going to tolerate it. We said we take the job, but we do it the way we saw fit. We had no nonsense from anybody, a great commitment by all, and that's why we have the 2 cups. No other reason.
Pat Collar, they won a junior title back in 1928 and they won it again in 57. And 57 led, of course, to greater things because they went on to win the intermediate and senior in successive years. It had never been achieved since. Then the disappointment was losing to Rosenals in 64. They came back and they won 2 junior finals in the one day in 88 when Liam Ash was captain. Disappointed in 94, and I suppose this is the 6th junior title and now become the top team winning the Father Phelan Cup. It'll take away some of the disappointment, I suppose, for the rest of the year. The under 21s lost narrowly with a couple of them players, and the minors put in a good performance early in the year, and I suppose Matty Collier done great work for juvenile.
Yeah, Matty for the last 5-6 years in Camross, tremendous work. There's other men with him there helping him as well, and the juveniles have had great success in the last 4 or 5 years, something Camross have never known. And fair play to Matty, and also the young lads, the parents, they're putting in the effort as well, and hopefully them young lads will step up. But as you know, you can have great. I played under 14, under 12 with Mount Rat years ago. I won finals with them. But Mountrat never really till this year stepped up and won. At least now they're giving a run there to most of the senior teams. So I believe Camross have plenty of young lads, and if they put in the effort, we're well fit to get back to where we should be.
Pat Collier, congratulations, and may this bring more success.
Thanks a million, Pat, and thanks to everybody involved. Thank you.
Thank you.